Thank you so much for joining me today here in my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Solomon SK, and we got some awesome MMO and RPG news coming up, including Final Fantasy XIV, which is back on sale with some new servers. Blizzard is actually making a new survival game. A new sandbox MMORPG, Mortal Online 2, has launched. Chinese New Year events within various MMOs. The New World gets a new update while its population continues to plummet. A new behind-the-scenes look for Black Myth Wukong is out. And as far as we can tell, Elder Scrolls 6 is still in pre-production. I hope you guys would join me for today's episode with your beverage at hand, and let's go ahead and cover these articles together. Cheers to you guys. All right. And as always, I'll have a 60-second version of today's episode up as a card in the top right-hand corner if you're interested, but you're more than welcome to check out both, as I would definitely appreciate the support. But anyways, moving on, we'll go ahead and cover a few articles from PCGamer.com. And just really quick, I wanted to put this out there that the Steam Deck will begin shipping on February 28th. And I know a lot of you guys who watch this channel have already pre-ordered, including myself. And this is definitely one of those things where I had to stop myself from buying a new gaming laptop. I have this one right here, and it gets the job done, but it is getting pretty dated, and so I keep forgetting that this is coming out. But too bad you can't edit videos on the Steam Deck, at least not yet, I guess. I don't know, but I guess we'll see. Just wanted to put that out there and let you guys know, and yeah, I'm really excited about this. Next, we have another article here, and it says that Final Fantasy XIV is back on sale after 6 weeks, and this just completely blows my mind that a game is so successful that it actually has to stop making or stop selling copies of its game because there was just so many people who wanted it, and probably would have overloaded the servers. And this, of course, was because of the release of Endwalker, their latest expansion for Final Fantasy XIV, excuse me. Don't know why my ad has a picture of a crying cat, but anyways, Square Enix said that they will be monitoring server stability, because I've also heard that character transfers is also overwhelming their system as well, as people are trying to, I guess, meet up with friends across multiple servers that they have. And really quick, in their next article, it says here that Final Fantasy XIV's new Oceania server is free real estate for the best and worst user names imaginable. But the news being here that they actually did create new servers, but only within the Oceania server side of things, not NA or European servers or anything like that, unfortunately. But hey, I figured if you want a name that you weren't able to get on your side of things, maybe you'd want to play on with a bunch of Australians or Southeastern Asians and have a high ping, I guess. I don't know, but anyways, there you have it. Now, as far as interesting news, I will have to admit this probably piques my interest the most so far, and it says here that Blizzard is making a survival game. We don't have a ton of information yet, but it does go on to say that Blizzard Entertainment is doing something new. The studio revealed today that it's working on a brand new survival game set in a whole new universe, and it's looking for help to make it happen. So they are hiring right now. Maybe this is something that you can get into if you're a talented web designer or animator or coder and stuff like that. Definitely not me, not with any of those, unfortunately. And it does continue on to say in their words that we're going on a journey to a whole new universe, home to a brand new survival game for the PC and console, a place full of heroes we have yet to meet, stories yet to be told, and adventures yet to be lived, a vast realm of possibility waiting to be explored. Now, honestly, that doesn't really tell us much, but I find it really interesting that they use the word heroes here. And yeah, I don't know if they are going to allow you to actually create your own character, or maybe you actually do use pre-created characters like you do in Overwatch to play this survival game. Now, how this survival game will turn out and what it will look like is really anyone's guess. Will it be similar to, say, something like Rust or DayZ or Last Oasis, Valheim, Population Zero? Hopefully not, but yeah, it's really your guess is good as mine. I'm actually really excited about this because, again, Blizzard doesn't really make new IPs, with Overwatch being the last one that they made, and that actually did quite well for a while, but then they kind of dropped the ball over the years and ended up not being the game that people expected it to be. Is esports within Overwatch still a thing? Like, do people still do that? Or no, I don't know. So with that being said, let me know down in the comment section below what you think this survival game will be like, or at least what you hope it will be like, because I'm definitely willing to give Blizzard a second, maybe even a third chance with this one. Again, it's Blizzard at the end of the day, despite what's going on right now, but hopefully they get that resolved too. But before we move on, I just wanted to show you this here, that they actually announced it in their official Twitter handle. And let's not forget, yes, Blizzard Activision was purchased by Microsoft for almost $70 billion, and so I'm pretty sure that's going to have some influences too as to how this game will turn out. For the better, I hope. You know, crossing my fingers. Hopefully this is definitely a good decision at the end of the day. Next, we got Elden Ring in the news, and by far this is probably one of the most hyped games or hyped RPGs so far this year in 2022. And it says here that Elden Ring will take about 30 hours to finish, but this is just solely within the realms of its main story campaign. There's going to be obviously side quests and other activities you could do within the game, and that's probably going to take you another 30, 40, maybe even 50 hours to complete as well, totaling maybe 100 hours. That would be my guess, just based upon the previous games that From Software has made, and other RPGs very similar to Elden Ring. And so yeah, definitely looking forward to this one. And again, this game is coming out pretty soon, or rather relatively soon, I should have said, in November 12th of this year. Next, we'll head on over to massivelyop.com for a few articles, and this is definitely going to be exciting for all you MMORPG fans out there. And it says here that full loop PvP MMORPG sandbox Mortal Online 2 officially launches today as a recording of this video. Now, I actually never played the first one, admittedly, but this is something that I might at least try out, at the very least, considering I will admit it's not necessarily my cup of tea from what I read so far. And it does continue on to say that it is set out to be a realism simulator rather than a combat simulator, and saw some elements of the first game with players wealth within it moved to a new one. So I thought that's really cool. If you actually play the original Mortal Online, your wealth transfers into part 2, which I think is really cool. Now, what is this game about? Well, it does continue on to say that core features include a ground up open world housing system, action combat, crafting, over 600 skills, which again probably sounds impressive, but also sounds a little overwhelming, admittedly, and a world that Star Vault says has over 6 times more playable space than the original MMO, and you'll need all that space for running away from all the people who want to kill you and yoink all your stuff. And yes, this is an open world PvP with full loot, and just by reading that actually sounds very similar to the way the New World was originally supposed to be released as, also an open world PvP MMORPG before all the changes, before all the delays and whatnot. And so maybe that's what they were going for. Maybe this was supposed to be the New World originally as intended. But that being said, again, I'm not a huge PvP fan myself, but I mean, if you are, this is certainly an MMO that might cater to your needs. Now, the game is available on Steam, and it goes for $40 with a subscription after the first month. Now, we got another MMORPG in the news, and this one here says that Chinese martial arts MMORPG Justice Online announces Western release, but it can be played via cloud gaming now. Now, certainly I never heard of this MMORPG, as it is only in China at the moment, but I will admit the first thing I thought of was what was the other Chinese one that came out last year? It was like Swords of Legends Online or something like that. And even though that had a pretty big release, relatively speaking, of course, the population for that MMO started dwindling too, faster than the New World, relatively, again, relatively being the word, speaking, of course. But now you may or may not actually have heard of this game, depending on the translation. It's actually been known to be called The Four, or The Four Constables, and even The Four Arresters, which I think is a pretty funny name. Now, definitely a game worth checking out just because I'm a huge MMORPG fan, but to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure if this is my cup of tea either, but regardless, I'll definitely keep you guys posted as we get more information. Does anyone remember Aion Online? That was definitely one of the first MMOs that I've ever played. Definitely have a lot of fond memories there. A lot of frustrating memories too, to be honest with you, because the term stereotypical Korean MMORPG is applied very liberally these days, but it was certainly true back then. Definitely known for its grind, more grind, and more grind. It was pretty brutal, but yeah, I remember this game fondly. But anyways, it does go on to say here that Aion Classic, though, this isn't the retail version, but Classic, patch 1.8 adds treasure rooms and wardrobes to the game. And if I recall, I do remember wardrobes, as a lot of people like to collect in-game costumes and outfits and whatnot for their characters. But anyways, if you play Aion Classic, I would love to know what you think. It's not something that I would go back to. That ship has sailed for me, unfortunately. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but again, there's just so many hours within a day. I just don't have time to invest in another MMORPG right now. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Now that February is here, we actually have a lot of events that's going to take place, including Valentine's Day. But another one that gets overlooked, in my opinion, is the Chinese New Year events that take place among all the MMOs and online RPGs out there. And one of the games that actually does that would be Black Desert Online, as it says here that Black Desert PC tweaks a monster zone and goes on sale for Lunar New Year. Black Desert Mobile adds the Solaris class as well. And no, the Solaris class isn't some exclusive class meant specifically for the mobile version of Black Desert Online. Rather, it's just the Guardian. Yeah, I don't know why they call it Solaris instead of the Guardian, but there you have it for that, at least. And another game that will have Lunar New Year events is Guild Wars 2, as it kicks off with plenty of tiger-based rewards. I'm just assuming that it's the year of the tiger. I didn't look into that, to be completely honest with you. And we got some exciting news to all the Star Wars fans out there, as it says here that Electronic Arts announces multiple new Star Wars games, including a new shooter. Now, when I read that last part, I instantly thought of Star Wars Jedi Outcast. I believe there's other first-person shooters or first-person Star Wars games out there, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I actually do recall playing this game back in high school, and it was a lot of fun from what I could tell. They actually had part 1 and 2, I believe, but I only played 2 from what I can remember. Matter of fact, I actually don't know anything about the storyline because it was so long ago, but I just remember having a lot of fun with it. Now, obviously, one of those games is going to be the next Fallen Order game, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2, which is rumored to be actually released this year or at the end of this year in 2022. Now, it goes on to say that the third game is going to be a strategy game developed through a production collaboration with a newly formed studio called Bit Reactor. And the last So when they say strategy, I automatically thought of real-time strategy games like Age of Empires or Sins of a Solar Empire, for example. I don't know if it's actually going to be a real-time strategy game, but that's where my mind went to. I mean, the last Star Wars strategy game that I played was Star Wars Empire at War, which was actually really fun because you actually got to play in space and on planets and just kind of go between the two and whatnot and let the campaign play out. And again, I don't remember anything about the game because that game came out years ago. I don't even remember when, but at the end of the day, we got some awesome games coming out. Again, I'm really interested in the first person shooter one. I doubt it. I mean, I don't know, it might be a first person shooter RPG, maybe. Highly doubt it's going to be a first person shooter MMO, but who knows? Maybe even it might even be a survival game or of sorts, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I think Respawn Entertainment is cranking out some pretty awesome games. But again, as we get more information, I will definitely keep you guys posted. Now we got some news from MMORPG.com, and this is for the World of Warcraft fans out there. All 5 of you now from what I could tell. But it does say that World of Warcraft Burning Crusade Classic, the Black Temple, and the Battle for Mount Hyjal unlocking on Thursday, if you're curious with that. I don't even know how Classic is doing actually at this moment. I know there was a surge of popularity, but with everything that's going on within the company, I'm not exactly sure if it's actually even doing better than retail. But let me know if that's the case, because I haven't touched either of those versions of the game for a while now. So yeah. Next, we got an article here that says that the New World's January update expands expeditions, overhauls fast travel, and adds new systems. And I think a lot of these changes is a welcomed one, but as far as I can tell, the game isn't what it used to be. It had a peak user player base of like 1 million players at its peak back in September when it came out, but now it lost like 90% of it, unfortunately. I am not very hopeful for this game, although I wish I would be proven wrong. Maybe with continual updates and expansion packs and whatnot, the game could rebound, but it's not looking It's not looking good right now, unfortunately. Now, this is something that I covered in the previous 2 videos, I believe, but they did introduce something called mutilators, and essentially this allows you to run expeditions or dungeons, in their case, at a higher difficulty. So it'd be equivalent of playing something like a hard mode or nightmare mode for better loot drops, better rewards and whatnot. They've also added a new resource to the game called Umbrella Shards that actually allow you to upgrade your gear. Fast travel has also been updated, and it goes on to say that this update reduces the distance factor for the amount of Azoth you need for each trip. Thank goodness, I definitely appreciate that. They've also added new fast travel shrines, additional ones all over the map as well, which is again welcome news because you just kind of get sick and tired of walking all over the place, and this is coming from somebody who plays Black Desert Online. I know, I get the irony. Taxes also have been taken into consideration, and it says here that a lot of players thought the housing taxes were too high and led to a serious imbalance of wealth disparity, due to both the rates and the series of bugs and exploits. For a while, taxes were only 10%, but this has been reverted back to 100% with the tax rate bands now reduced going forward. So yeah, I don't know if this is too little too late. I mean, I still play the game a few times a week just to gather resources, to be completely honest with you. I don't do any of the hardcore endgame stuff, not yet anyway. I'm nowhere near a level cap, but I feel like by the time I'm able to do that, they'll probably raise the level cap anyways. But again, it's still a fun game in my opinion. It still has a lot of potential in my opinion, but we'll see what Amazon does with this game. I'm really hopeful, but also very pessimistic. Probably more so pessimistic, actually. And we got even more news regarding new MMORPGs, and in this article it says that a new Into the Echo interview reveals more on time travel, progression, combat, and the world of Raava, however you pronounce that. Now, I don't know anything about this MMORPG, but it is being described as a unique time traveling MMORPG, which I think is really cool, really interesting, because I don't think I've ever... I mean, I played time traveling games, but not a time traveling MMO, or at least not that I could think of. But anyways, yeah, you could actually sign up for the alpha if you are curious through their official website, and it is expected to be released sometime in 2023 for now. But it is an indie game from the looks of things that it is described up here. I don't know if they've already crowdfunded or maybe that's something they're going to do in the future and whatnot. But yeah, more information is probably going to be headed our way this year, and I'll keep you guys posted as we get more of it. And another MMORPG that is unfortunately not doing incredibly well is Elyon, and they added an update that adds a new Elyon Pass reward system and a new realm versus realm airship treasure battle, which I think is really cool. But again, maybe it's a little too late, unfortunately, because they're going through some server merges as well with the reduced population since its launch. And yeah, unfortunately, not a whole lot of MMOs are doing incredibly well these days. But I'm hoping for the best for this game. I still have the game installed in my hard drive. Always wanted to go back into it, but just never have, unfortunately. But hopefully that changes, and yeah, we'll probably do an updated review video, like, 6 months later. How's the game doing now? And yeah, I don't know. But anyways, and moving to ultra.com, and this is obviously going to be about Genshin Impact, because that's what they seem to talk about mostly here. But it does say that Genshin Impact 2.5 character banner is revealed, and yeah, 3 of them listed here. Yae Miko, an electro catalyst user, Raiden Shogun, electric pole arm user. That's actually a really cool name, Raiden Shogun. And the last one, I don't even like what Sangan no Mi Sanka, yeah, that which is a hydro catalyst user. And in their next article, and I do apologize, it is cut off on the right there, but it says that Genshin Impact leak reveals that Mondstadt is 60% done. And this is something I wasn't aware of, but I think it's really cool that they are adding, I guess, more elements, more locations to the starting area of the game. It's a beautiful looking area too, one of my favorites in the game. And it does continue on to say that an interesting leak on the popular Genshin Impact leak subreddit has revealed that the current region Mondstadt is only 60% done, meaning that we will have the option to explore even more of this beautiful region in some of the following updates. And it kind of begs the question, are they going to do other updates in other big cities within the game, or is it just going to be a starting area? At the end of the day, I welcome this change just because I have very fond memories of jumping into the world of Genshin Impact and just being absolutely blown away by its beauty, the dynamic colors, and yeah. Next, we'll head on over to MMOculture.com, and I was very surprised at this one because we're not talking about a mobile title for once. Yeah, it says here that Return Alive, which is the name of the game, as KOG announces Korean closed beta schedule for the new PC survival title. Not mobile title, but PC title, which is always welcome news in my opinion. And it does go on to say that KOG, the Korean developer behind Elsword, Grand Chase, and Kurtzspell, and those are titles I actually have played in the past before, although not for long, unfortunately, today announced the Korean closed beta schedule for its new PC online title, Return Alive, which takes place from February 23rd to March 4th. An English version of Return Alive was not announced, but expected to be announced in the future. Now, I do have the trailer playing down below me, and it's definitely a different type of survival game, not your typical one, as this is top-down. Very similar to ArcAge and Diablo, which is always welcome. I always like it when companies do different things. And it says here that it is a multiplayer shooter with PvE and PvP elements where players compete with each other to acquire items in the battlefield. The main objective is to finish the mission, then escape the battlefield with the items. The items can be used to upgrade mercenaries, with just currently 3 available right now, and craft unique weapons. And when I read that, it actually did remind me a little bit of Tarkov, actually, as you drop down in the world, collect whatever you get, and leave with your loot and do various things like sell it and crafting and all that other stuff. And so, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm overly interested in this game. It's something that I definitely would be willing to try out just because of its uniqueness and different take on the survival genre of the game, if you will. And so yeah, we'll see where this game goes, and again, that's hopefully we'll get a English or Western closed beta version of this game, and when it does, I'll definitely let you guys know. And really quick, I thought I'd cover this because I was a fan of the first one, but even though I'm looking forward to it, I'm very skeptical because the first hit game they took offline for whatever reason. I guess it wasn't profitable. I thought it was doing incredibly well, but all that progress I made within the game just completely gone now, unfortunately. But they are making a hit too. First images for PC mobile MMORPG sequel revealed. I'm willing to give them a second chance, but again, like, why? If the first game was so bad and they had to take it offline, why would they make a second one? Like, I just don't or maybe this one will just be for Korea, not for the US. Maybe the Korean version of this game is still up, but the Western markets didn't click. I don't know, but I thought I'd put it out there anyways in case you did play this mobile title. I did. Anyways, yeah, let's just move on. And moving to gamesradar.com for a few articles, and the first one here says that come watch a sword-wielding tiger glitch out in this prank Black Myth Wukong development update. The Lunar New Year joke gives a brief peek at some combat footage, and the entire video is almost 13 minutes long. But what's really interesting is that they actually did mocap cats. As you see here, the cat is strapped with mocap devices in various parts of its body, and I've never seen a mocap device or technology for animals like that before, which I think is super cute, super awesome at the same time. But anyways, like I said, if you want to check out this video, the link for this will be down in the pinned comment section below if you want to take a closer look. But by far, this is probably one of the most, or the most popular Chinese game right now in the Western shores and in Europe. It just garnered a ton of interest with their first trailer that they released back last year. And so yeah, we'll see where this game goes, but definitely a lot of people looking forward to this one. And just really quick, Crysis 4 has been announced. All the Crysis memes are probably going to return. Your RTX 3090 probably won't be able to run it though, because it's going to be super photorealistic, right? I don't know, just putting that out there. And lastly, from gamesradar.com, it says here that Elder Scrolls 6 is seemingly still in pre-production, and so this game, if it's true, probably won't see the light of day until another, I don't know, 4 years maybe. I don't know. That's just a guess on my part, just based upon what I know, which isn't incredibly a lot. And it continues on to say that the Elder Scrolls 6 is seemingly still in pre-production phase. The new information comes courtesy of a Bethesda HR employee's LinkedIn profile, a screenshot of which you can see below, which is right there. And the developer's profile, as spotted by several Bethesda fans, specifically notes that the development studio is still in the pre-production phase of the Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe this is something that just hasn't been updated, but you know, take this with a grain of salt, as things could change definitely in the future. A game so beautiful, if you have a computer, it's a must-have. Oh, it's Raid Shadow Legends, of course it is. Anyways, but it is going to say that this shouldn't come as a surprise, as Bethesda Starfield. I can't talk. It's nearly at the end of the day. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, Bethesda has been working on Starfield the entire time, and that's coming out later this year, which I'm super looking forward to. And when that game is done, we'll probably see more effort being put into Elder Scrolls 6 probably, and we'll have another game to look forward to. So, and there you have it, guys. Thank you so much if you made it with me so far, as the watch time significantly helps with the algorithms, probably more so than any other part of the YouTube machine right now, if you will. But anyways, everyone, I will finally let you guys go. Hope you guys have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers again, everyone.